All right, on the next, we are going to talk about our chef. So a lot of people ask this question too. How much do you pay your chef? Um, and again, it varies state by state. I need you to do your research. Make sure you're going on Indeed, going on ZipRecruiter, any of these online hiring software programs, and just searching the jobs, and they will tell you how much they're paying. So we want to be competitive with the competition in our area, but want to be a tad bit higher than what the competition is paying as well. Um, what I love about the chef in our home is that it's very personal, and it's kind of easy to lure big box chefs from the big box to your home, because majority of these big box chefs are by themselves, first of all, and are cooking for 120 plus individuals. So it's not an easy kind of job, right? It's very high stress. It's back to back to back to back to back, always doing something. And so once they find out that they're coming into our home and they're only cooking for 16 grandparents, they look at you and they're like, I'm only cooking for 16 people. Like, that's it. I'm like, yeah, 16 people plus staff. That's all you're cooking for. And they literally kind of laugh like, oh, wow, that's super easy. And so it's really, again, easy to lure them over, um, because they're making the same pay or better. And they're technically doing less work, and they're in a more home-like environment. They really can have a relationship with all the grandparents in our home. And I think it's more personal, because in big boxes or in restaurants, they're behind the line, right? They're in the back of the house. They're not in the front of the house. They're not, interacting with people. And so it's something where they like being the center of attention, because they really are. I mean, our kitchen is right there, right when you open the front door. They're kind of the entertainment for our grandparents. Like, a lot of our grandparents will wheelchair up to our island there and watch them cook. And so it's a it's a different environment, and it's different in a way that they really enjoy. And so it's super easy to lure them over from the big boxes. So as far as pay, when we started in 2020, we were paying our chef $15 an hour, and now we are paying $20 an hour. Again, that might sound really high or might sound really low based on your area, but based on Central Texas, that is definitely competitive plus in our area. So chef hours. Again, this is something you can create on your own. You can take this and use it, or you can take it and kind of tweak it a little bit. But we operate on a Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. with an hour lunch break. So it's 40 hours per week. We used to have our chef on a Tuesday to Saturday schedule, and it worked for a little bit of time, because we wanted him there on one day of the weekend, because sometimes the weekends can, especially Saturdays, I feel like can be a little busy, because it's more of the families coming in and visiting. And so we wanted the food, to look great and such. But this new chef, it just worked better for him to have a Monday through Friday. It works great for us. He prepares all of the food for the weekend on Friday. So he will make sure that, breakfast, lunch, dinner is prepared for Saturday and Sunday, so that it's easy for our Platinum Angels to, either put it in the oven or whatever they need to do to prepare that. So he may stay like a tiny bit later on Fridays to make sure that all that food is prepared, but he's got his time managed pretty well in order to make sure that he's not staying over on Fridays, and in order to prepare those meals for the weekend. Again, you could coordinate it again, the schedule, send it to Thursday, or you can do Tuesday to Saturday. It just kind of depends on what you want. If you want a chef there every day, you could potentially hire 2 part-time chefs. That's something that could also be done. We've talked about doing that before, so that we don't have to have our Platinum Angels preparing. I don't want to say preparing, but just like heating up the food. So that's an option too. If you prefer to have that, you can maybe have one chef working 4 days a week, and then the other working 3 days, so that you have a chef there at all times. So that's an option too, if that's something that you are very passionate about, is having a chef there every day. So the benefits are pretty much the same as our caregivers. He gets PTO 5 days a year. So for every 52 hours worked, he gets 1 hour of PTO. Same with the holiday pay. It's the same days, same 7 days a year. He gets 3 meals a day. And then he also gets included on the $50 a month payout, which I'm telling you, if you don't already incorporate this, this is something they really get excited about. So I would just incorporate it and see how it goes. I mean, you can always just trial test it, right? For 3 months and see if it creates a difference on your callouts. And lastly, I'm going to do the managers. Okay. This is always a big topic too. Everybody always wants to know how much you pay your managers. So we're going to talk about it. Again, we are an open book to our business. I mean, I really just want to tell you everything about the business because I felt like when I first got into this and I would ask, a mentor certain things about the business, it was always like oh, you can't ask that question. Like that's too personal um, so I never really got the answers. So I never really knew what was appropriate and not appropriate. So this is why I enjoy doing this because I think that it's something that should be talked about and something that should be in a conversation and just open about.